and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for all the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you, and I guess we can call this Toy News Part 4 in a lot of ways, as we did last Saturday, our traditional toy news recapping the week that was. Then we did 2 special toy news videos covering Toy Fair this week on the channel. And now here we are again with another toy news here on Saturday to catch up on all the new news this week, plus a little bit of Toy Fair coverage that we missed out on. So a lot going down in the toy news and a lot going down in the toy industry, as we do know. But before we get too far, I got to thank our sponsor, Jay's Toys and Games. Use code Kyle, save yourself 15%. Got to get a deal out there. Thanks to Jay's Toys and Games for sponsoring the toy news again this week. We also got, of course, Patreon giveaway. It is the month of February. We do have Brody Lee, Jazzwares Vault exclusive to one person, and then another person will win Street Fighter Rock, of course, as M. Bison. So check out the Patreon. Plenty of stuff to keep you busy and your best way to support the channel. You guys know how that goes by now. But let's dive into the toy news. 2 pages of toy news, which is crazy. Busy week this week, even coming after Toy Fair. And if, like I said, I talked about those 3 videos we did before. Check those out if you want all the Toy Fair coverage, as a lot more stuff was announced and talked about than I anticipated at Toy Fair. I figured we'd have 2 videos, but I didn't think we'd do 3, 4 videos about Toy Fair stuff. But here we are. But the biggest toy news this week has to be AEW Unmatched Series 13, up for pre-order right now at Ringside Collectibles. Use code Kyle, save yourself 10% over there at Ringside. We got Chris Statlander. We got Kyle Fletcher ×2. He is the rare edition in this set. Kenny Omega. And then they sent Hook. Once again, Hook is part of this set. Now, only 4 figures. I think originally Malachi Black was supposed to be in the series. The Young Bucks were supposed to be in there. There was some moving and, dare I say, some shaking, moving some things around on this. So not a complete full set as normal, but it is still figures. It is still product from the AEW Jazzwares brand, where a lot of people, as I've talked about on the channel, are calling gloom and doom and it's over, it's over. And I have been steady in, hey, it's not over till it's over. I'm sure there's still negotiations going on. Is it on life support? Yeah, probably. It's been dialed back a lot, but we still got the Tanahashi recently announced. Ringside, once again, exclusive. We saw the 2 figures from Toy Fair this year with the Darby Allin and the Outrunners. So we got those coming. Now we got Series 13. Could we get the next Unrivaled set? Do we still have the Prince Nana Swerve 2-pack coming from Ringside? There's still some meat on the bone. San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I wouldn't be shocked to see one of those. So we'll see what happens. I don't think we'll ever get back to full strength if we do stay with Jazzwares AEW. I don't think they're going to get back to all the product they released of the past. But if they do re-sign, I think they'll still continue on unmatched, unrivaled exclusives, etc. So we'll see. I know a lot of people are hoping for it to be dead, or maybe they just want to talk about the failures, whatever it may be, but it's not dead yet, obviously, as we do see some stuff going on here. And it's funny, as earlier in the week, there was an eBay auction up for that Chris Statlander figure that last time I saw was over $1,000. I don't know if that got taken down or what happened, but I saved it and it was gone. I didn't see it anywhere, so not sure what happened with that one, but it was well over $1,000. And I don't think anybody was paying that in the long run. Whether or not this one was going to come out or not, I can't see somebody paying $1,000, but maybe. Stranger things have happened, but a pretty fun looking set. It does answer the question, who's going to be the 100th figure in the wave? We did see Kyle Fletcher as number 100, part of Unmatched Series 13. So still cool to get some new product. We'll see. We'll reserve judgment for when they hit the table. That Kenny Omega, I love the bright green in the trunks, but I'm not sure about that head sculpt there. Chris Statlander, a step behind her right now, but a nice update to Chris Statlander, I did think. I really like the Hook paint color on the trunks on that one. I thought that looked really well. And Kyle Fletcher kind of just there for me. We'll see how that looks, of course, when we get it here at the table. So Unmatched 13, if you need it, it's over there at Ringside right now. We'll see what happens in the continuing saga of AEW Jazzwares as we continue through 2026. But now how about WWE Mattel? We know they're still around for sure. We saw at Toy Fair. Some stuff that was shown on Monday, I guess is what we'll call it. It is CM Punk, Ricky Starks, Ivy Nile, Logan Paul, and Razor Ramon, part of Main Event Series 164. I'm supposed to have that as I'm filming it, but there's a weather delay. I got hit with like 6 inches of snow last night. And Todd, you've been hit with 6 inches a time or two, if I'm not mistaken. Old Todd McFarlane on the couch. But I got it last night and had to do all that shoveling, all that kind of fun stuff. And it looks like I got a delay. So I guess I'll get all that stuff tomorrow, but that is around the corner. We saw 165. Once again, no strangers to any series, including Main Event. We got John Cena, Cody Rhodes, the Hulkster. He doesn't get very many Main Event figures, so pretty cool to see an NWO version of the Hulkster here. We saw Ethan Page, and then we didn't see, but we know she's a part of it, is Sol Ruka. So we'll see where that one comes. Then we saw 166 with Chad Gable. That's a must-have if you ask me. Jey Uso, another no stranger to any line. Roman Reigns, no stranger to any line. And then we didn't get carded images, but we got samples of Becky Lynch and Sheamus, part of 166. So a lot of main events coming. Main events is a crazy thing. We've talked about it ad nauseum on the unboxings and in the toy news. Harder than ever to find, and when you do find them, it's just the same like 3 or 4 from the series. There's always 2 to 3 that are really hard to get. I guess that's going to continue on. So we'll see what happens in the future there. But I know it's bad for collectors like me that like first time in the line, deep cut characters, and of course the female figures, as we know. But we did see some of those this week. We also saw our friends over there at Latuni showing off the Everest edition of the Warlord. They did show this before Collect Major showed their big rubber guy, but the Everest edition, remember, is these giant ones, like the Hasbro talking ones. So very cool for Warlord to get a lot of flowers as of late, but we got another Warlord figure coming around the corner. So more on that when we get better images, I guess, in the future. Moving on to KWK, of course, they had their big reveal event this week for Toy Fair. They did show off Shelton Benjamin, many versions of Shelton Benjamin, including a gold standard version. Never forget the gold standard Shelton Benjamin. Looking pretty good to see that one there. Mario Mancini, a deep cut jobber from Once Upon a Time. Looks like he's going to be a KWK Club exclusive, 1 of 100. And we remember the new rules with Club KWK. Members get first dibs at it, and then after a week or so, everybody gets a time at it. So make a note of that if you are collecting this line here. But Mario Mancini, a deep, deep cut. I think 1 of 100 is pretty good. We'll see how that one ends up selling for them. We saw Bad News Brown, many versions there. We're going to get even the Sewer Rat with Bad News. I'm here for that. I'm also here for that cartoon series. Bad News and the Sewer Rat, I think it writes itself, would be an 80s staple if there ever was one. Hayabusa coming to the line, no stranger there. KWK, Sean over there helps with the licensing of Hayabusa. Would not be shocked to see a Collect Major Big Rubber Guys Hayabusa. Kind of to go in stock with that Jushin Thunder Liger one day, kind of the same vein of that. So we'll see what ends up happening in the future there. One I'm extremely excited for is Jameson. Now, a moment in time, if there ever was one. A lot of people probably that were older than me hated Jameson, but when I was a kid watching Primetime, and then of course the Bobby Heenan show, I loved Jameson over there. I thought he was a great foil to Bobby Heenan, so very cool to see Jameson getting a figure. I think everybody should get a figure, and he's in his Bushwhacker position. Of course, he tagged with the Bushwhackers Once Upon a Time. I think it is really, really cool to see this one coming, so definitely want to have this in my collection. I'm really excited about that, and in all honesty, out of all the stuff we saw the last couple of weeks, it's pretty wild, but Jameson is one of the ones I'm most excited for, because totally a moment in time for me in my childhood, so very cool to see that one coming around the corner. And then we also got to talk about KWK and their O-ring style figures. We got Jake the Snake, the Roberts coming to the O-ring line. Jake never met a line he didn't like, as we do know, but we got him coming. And then we also saw 2 rings being shown off and different versions of Earl Hebner. You got an old classic ring and a different ring, and then you got 2 different versions of Earl Hebner. I think it is very smart to have the referee come with the ring. Makes a lot of sense. And the cool thing is you can use these for these O-ring figures, the Pro Wrestling T figures, figure collection figures. You can even go back to the, what are those? Build and Brawls back in the day for Jakks. All of those kind of figures can fit with this ring. So I think this is a smart move by KWK putting this one out there, because I think he can get, obviously, KWK O-ring sales, but he'll get some sales from other people that collect other lines as well that want to have a ring to represent here. So I think that is a smart business move there. So a lot going down from KWK, a lot more to come throughout the year, as we know. Get all your pre-orders in, all that kind of stuff. Tenru up right now, a very good-looking figure, if you ask me. Speaking of that size, the O-ring size, we're going to go to Figure Collections, who last week did announce more of their reaction style, but they would work for this ring as well. A new repaint of Macho Man, Randy Savage that is, and of course Andre the Giant. Now the cool thing about this Andre the Giant is he is in his Mexico gear at the end of his career, kind of that red and green color. Very famous photos once upon a time. Unfortunately, he doesn't have those crazy mutton chops in this figure here. They were like just extra bulbous, is that a word? I don't know, but it looked like kind of two baseballs on the side of his head. Always a wild look, but I remember that Andre, and that is one, you know, currently he's not available to Mattel, but if Mattel ever gets Andre again, I would really like to see that Ultimate Warrior face paint from Mattel, which is just a layup, an easy head swap or a totally different figure. And I would love to see something like this. This could be a very easy repaint for the Mattel team. We'll see what happens in the future there. But a lot going on there with KWK and the figure collection with their Power Pack wrestlers. A new scale for a lot of collectors, if that is their thing. Now we move over to Zombie Sailor Toys. And Zombie, man, he's on the clock. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but we did get an announcement that Macho King that we saw at Toy Fair and the Bob Holly, Spark Plug Bob Holly, are both going up next week for order, in stock, shipping immediately. So if you're after both of those, check out Heels and Faces, Zombie Sailor Toys. Pick those ones up if you want them. To me, though, I'm just putting my business hat on. I don't think that's a very good business move, putting those out for immediate shipping, because so many of us are waiting for our Pinnacle figures. So many of us are waiting for our Road Warriors figures. And then you throw Owen Hart in that mix, which is Zombie Sailor Toys, but sold through Pro Wrestling Tees. That Owen Hart was supposed to be around 4th of July. How about Valentine's Day? Makes a little bit more sense. Supposed to be around Valentine's Day. We have passed Valentine's Day now. Has not shipped out. No update, no nothing for that. So that's a strike. Pinnacle was supposed to be here at the end of last year, delayed to the very end of last year, and then delayed to saying, hey, it's going to be the end of January, first week of February. We're still twiddling our thumbs on that. Same thing with the Road Warrior. Supposed to be an in-stock drop. Supposed to come end of January, early February. No update on that either. So where are all those figures? I would really like him to ship the ones we've pre-ordered, we've paid. Pinnacle, pre-ordered in March of last year. Would really like to have those in our hands before we have to fork over more money for the Macho King and Bob Holly. I don't know. It's his business at the end of the day. He can run it however he wants, but I know I've heard a lot of people griping about all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's not quite to the Powertown level. Let's be honest with that. But, man, we're about a year here on the Pinnacle figures. So I hope those are being shipped this week as well with these two new figures. And it would be a real shame if he has the Pinnacle and the Road Warriors in stock right now, and he's delaying shipping those out to now ship out Bob Holly and Macho Man, which basically jumped the line. I just don't like it. It just feels wrong to me. I hope he can get those out all at the same time or something. Or what he should have done is delayed the Macho Man and Bob Holly a week or two and get the other stuff out if that is possible. So I'm not sure what's going on in the background, but I am somebody that put down the hard-earned money and hoping to get my figures here. And with the Powertown stuff looming in a lot of ears, and we'll talk that here in a second, it's just not a good time to have people complaining and being upset about their money and where it's going and so forth and so forth. So hopefully it gets clear here very soon from Zombie. Hopefully he announced Pinnacle shipping now, Road Warrior shipping now, Owen Hart, some kind of an update. Hopefully we see that stuff sooner rather than later. But of course, talking about issues, talking about our money being held up, it wouldn't be right without the Powertown update.
Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering?
And it's time for our favorite portion of the show each and every week. And we've heard about it, Tom and Farm. There's some people that just like this portion of the toy news each and every week. So whatever you like, thanks for being here either way. But unfortunately, Toy Fair came and went. No sign of Powertown at Toy Fair. They weren't there. They didn't have a card table set up on the side. Nothing from Magnum. Nothing from Steve Rosenthal. Nothing from our good friend Greg Gagne. Just silence across the board, and it speaks louder than words, obviously, and it's spoken that way for 6 months now, 7 months. What is time, once again, as we're very close to the 1-year anniversary of the last official statement on the Powertown website. They did send a press release out, and I think it was June or so, but they didn't even put that on their website, which is absolutely wild. And then this week, unfortunately, we heard out there that their customer service email is no longer valid, does not work anymore. So you can't even get a hold of customer service if you wanted to. Many of us have reached out of our bank. It's been too long. The statute of limitations is over. You accepted those coins. You accepted those free figures, whatever it was. There's no chance of getting our money back. There's people talking about lawsuits, and I really just honestly think that's talk, because who's going to pay the money for all that? And where are they going to get money? I mean, I'm all in. If there's a class action lawsuit, I'm putting my name down. I want my money. I got probably more than the average Joe tied up in this fiasco here. I'm at around $1,000 or so. I mean, I got the Matt and Brian, but let's just call it around $1,000. Some of you guys are in the same boat, some of you guys less, but it doesn't matter if you ordered one figure or every single figure. You're due your figure or at least your money back, and they've got a free interest loan on us for the last year plus. A lot of us, myself included, think a lot of that money went to fund other things and it didn't work out and blah, 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 blah. We've talked about it at nauseum each and every Saturday here on the Toy News for the last, 3 years? I think we've kept it top of house here because at the end of the day, we care. It's our money. We're collectors. We're due what we bought, and or a refund at best, and we're not getting either. We're getting silence. I hope there's an official statement sooner rather than later, but their email is not working for customer service anymore. That is not good. Jordan Grace was responded to somebody on the X this week saying it's a fiasco. I've tried to reach out. Other wrestlers have tried to reach out. We're really sorry for this. Obviously, it's not their fault on this thing. Just a fiasco there. The lawsuits, there's people saying there's going to be lawsuits like I talked about. I really don't think there's any way to get out of there, and I just don't see how that could work unless somebody just wants to do it for the goodness. If there's a lawyer out there, somebody call Mark Sterling. I know. I got a lawyer, Todd McFarlane.
Hi, I'm attorney at law, Zach Wild, and I'm here to fight for you.
Maybe we can get Zach Wild on the case. I'm not sure, but we need a lawyer that basically wants to do it for free because if anybody gets money out of this whole thing, and Powertown doesn't have any money to pay restitution or anything, so it is just an absolute mess. We'll keep on top of it best we can. I guess if you're after some Powertown figures, the wrestling collection, TWC, has them on sale, $24.99, half off at this point. I think they're just trying to get some money back. A lot of people say, hey, that is Powertown. It is not. We searched that like a year plus ago. That's just their distribution partner who they've paid to distribute their figures for them. You can't fault them. They're saying, hey, they said they'll pay us money to do this. We'll do that job for them. They are not part of Powertown. A lot of people think they are. They are not. We even had a roving reporter, boots on the ground at the location.
All right, Kyle, we're coming here from the wrestling collection. It looks like we have some empty United States Postal Service boxes, cameras everywhere. But to me, this place is not open. I don't see a Powertown figure anywhere.
He was told the same thing, like, hey, we're just a distribution partner. We're hoping to get those figures. They're telling us they're coming anytime. And that was like, once again, 6 months ago or something. So it's just not a good thing. It's just bad all around. It's just an absolute debacle. It's an absolute mess. And it really ruins it for a lot of the other companies. There's a lot of people out there that aren't going to pre-order anymore. It's basically ruined that model. And shame on that whole Powertown crew. It'd be very interesting. Gagne's at the gathering. I'm sure Magnum will be there. There is chances to see these guys out and about, and we need somebody. I just wish they'd come to my area. They're nowhere around my area. But if they were, I'd say, hey, what's up? I'd be nice about it. I wouldn't be like in their face and, punching them or something. But I know Magnum's got one more good one in him, so I don't want any part of that. That's for sure. But I would like to say, hey, what's going on? Come on. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. So hopefully somebody at the gathering does a little talk with them. I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath, though. And that's pretty much the state of Powertown here in 2026. Don't hold your breath. I think that's the best advice.
Cell phones, internet, surveillance.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop the clock with some serious late-breaking news on the Powertown situation. If things couldn't crumble anymore, well, this could be the final nail in the coffin in the Powertown saga of the last couple of years. We've been covering it on the channel for a long time, and this one really knocked me out of my chair. And I'm going to go to the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Facebook group for this little tidbit of information, but I think it says a lot about the situation we're in right now. There was a thread, and there's many threads in many Facebook groups currently about Powertown, especially with the Jordan Grace news, where she's saying, hey, we're trying to fight for it, and we've been looking into it. I feel bad about you. That whole thing, and then obviously the email for Powertown not working anymore, which we covered right in this video here. But in the Major Pod Facebook group, Craig Usher, yes, that Usher, no, different Usher, okay, different Usher, says Todd McFarlane from the couch. The company is officially closed. Now, he put his comments on this thread. Said the company is officially closed, ... Give it a month or two and the website will be dead. Rip Powertown. may you burn in hell forever.
Are you kidding me?
That was his comment. Well, the interesting thing about this comment, now, I don't know if Mr. Usher knows anything. I'm not exactly sure if he's on the inside or what. But the interesting thing was somebody hearted this. And who hearted this comment? Steve Rosenthal of Powertown. He loved this comment that the company is officially closed. Give it a month or two. The website will be dead. Rip Powertown. May you burn in hell forever. What does that mean? He loved that comment. Does that mean he loves the comment that it is true they will be burning forever? They are disappearing. He loved it because of that? Did he love it in a ha-ha manner of like, yep, there it is. Keep on going, guys. We're going to get the last laugh like we've heard him say in the past? I'm not exactly sure, but it's so crazy he's got time to answer this, but not time to answer emails, messages, make statements on their website, anything else. A bad look right here, but does this mean it's the final nail in the coffin? It's totally done? That he's just giving us the heads up like, yeah, it's over, guys. Enjoy not having your money. Enjoy not having your figures. What does this mean? So many conspiracies, so little time is what it feels like to me. But man, oh man, is this very disappointing. And it's not a good look for the Powertown organization, even if it's a joke or not a joke, to even do this, to even comment, because we can't get a hold of them for anything on any social media. And then they do something like this. I have no idea. But putting my conspiracy hat on, the Jesse Ventura special, as we know, Steve has been very absent over the last year. And Magnum and Greg said, leave Steve out of this. It's not fair. Steve is dealing with some things that nobody would want to deal with, which made me assume, and we know what happens when we assume, Tom McFarlane, that he was dealing with health issues. Who knows what that could be if that is the case. But it's just so strange. We haven't heard anything from Steve, and then he pops in with the heart on this comment. Is he on the outs? Did he get pushed out of Powertown? Did he say, this is a mess, I want out, I'm done? So many questions that we'll never get answers for is what I think, but found this to be very, very interesting in the long Powertown saga that seems to never end. And I guess they will just burn in hell forever. Stop the clock again. Round number 20. I don't know what round we're at here, but I'm coming at you from the set of the Kyle Peterson Show with another Powertown update. I can't believe it. Todd's downstairs, so he'll have to watch this on video. But I talked about the issue with Powertown, the major pod group, Steve Rosenthal's laughing comment, or his heart comment. Just a wild, wild scene. But we did get a further update as Steve actually replied in the message here. I can't believe it. We finally got some communication from Powertown here. And it does say, Craig, Powertown has not, all capital, and is not going out of business, exclamation point. We understand the implications assumed by our lack of updates. With the decision rendered today, tariffs, Todd McFarlane, I heard him all the way down there. And with Chinese New Year ending, Powertown will soon be providing updates, Remco's, TNA, and Ultras too. All orders will be fulfilled. That's what it says. I don't know what to take from that. Now, first thing I want to believe, I'm a guy that wants to believe. I always want to believe, and I want to believe they're going to do the right thing here. And these are going to come to our hands. We're going to have them. It's going to be a great day in the neighborhood. That is my hope. Whether or not that happens, I don't know if I'm holding my breath at this point, but I want to believe it if he's saying this kind of stuff. But I put my business hat on. I know the tariffs was a thing, but this is pretty extreme. There is no way the orders were thousands and thousands of units. We're talking about a small amount of tariffs. Now, I guess everybody has a different amount. What is a small amount? $1,000, $10,000? What's a small amount? It varies by person, but it's not like this was Hasbro or Mattel, and I get it, they're not dealing with the Hasbro Mattel funds, but it's not like they had thousands and thousands and thousands of units they had to ship out. So I don't know if this holds water. I don't know. I would love to find a behind-the-scenes case to find all of the words and issues and everything that went down here because it just doesn't smell right. We all understand that, but I want to believe. I guess there's hope. There's a small amount of hope right here that we possibly may get our Powertown figures. We'll see where we go from there. All we can do at this point is just dance. Dance all those cares away. Just like our friend Jerry Reed always says. And you you know Jerry Reed, he don't mess around, that's for sure. And we don't mess around with more toy news. Got a lot of stuff to dive into here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, we talked about him in the Toy News, Toy Fair updates. We got a little bit more images here. We got Leo as Snake Eyes. We saw the box. Looks like they're going to be boxed figures. That'll be an interesting tactic there. I'm still thinking I'm out on these. I love both properties. I just don't know where I would display it. And it just seems too forced to me. I don't know. Turtles and Joes just feel like they don't go together. I don't know what it is, but I can't make head nor tails of it is what I'll say. We also saw the Dragonfly and the Ostriker as well, packaged images. So cool idea, I think. It just doesn't resonate with me. Maybe it does for you. Let me know in the comments down below. We also saw some more Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know they're trying to get all they can out of the line before our friends at Mattel take over the Turtle license, among many other properties as well, I guess. But we do got Godzilla figures, another round, 3 figures coming for Godzilla. You got Splinter involved this time, which is good to see. They're branching out. Could we get a 4th series of this? It'll be interesting to see where that one goes. But how about Super 7? Now, we didn't talk about all their reaction announcements. Basically, every single property under the sun seemingly got a reaction announcement, including Law & Order, which is really weird to me. I've never seen an episode of Law & Order. But I'm holding out for those Oz figures, Todd McFarlane. I want to represent my time in the federal prison system with some Oz figures. I'll never forget my time at Oswald Penitentiary, Todd. But we'd love to see Oz reaction figures. Can we get an Adabisi? Can we get one with the hat? Give me the Beecher. Give me the Schillinger. Give me Peter Criss. Can we get all those ones from Oz? Maybe one day. We'll see. But Super 7 not messing around with their Thundercats reissue program, the deluxe versions, Mirror Master Lion-O. We got Ghost Jaga, which at one time was extremely hard to find. And then we got Mum-Ra before he transformed. So we got some more of those Thundercat Deluxe. If you missed out on the old ones, you want less accessories, for whatever reason, you got some options there. How about a little follow-up from Toy News? Was it last week or the week before? I talked about how they were re-releasing the Origin Skeletor and He-Man figure, which makes sense with the movie coming to get those back out there. Makes a lot of sense to me. But a lot of people were talking about why, or me, I was talking about, why would they use that newer head for He-Man? Give us the classic head. That's what the people want. Well, apparently there was a mix-up or whatever, as they are giving us the classic head on that He-Man. It's an easy pass for me. I got those multiple times, but people that want representation, it's great to have that in their collection again. So we're going to see that He-Man back out there with the more classic style head, which makes a lot of sense. We also saw at Toy Fair Mechaneck on the back of the childhood, the child version of the He-Man figures. You know, we saw the 2 ones. We saw the Chronicle and the regular ones. Regular ones more kid focused. We saw Mechaneck on the back, so you have to think there's going to be more Mechaneck from the movie coming in the future. We also saw from overseas, it looks like we got some mini He-Man figures. No word if those are coming to America, like a young Eddie Murphy once upon a time. And Arsenio Hall, you're exactly right, Todd McFarlane. We'll see if those do happen. Once again, those are an easy pass for me, just a different scale. Don't need to be involved. And now we move our attention over to NECA and a lot of crazy stuff from NECA as of late. I did find that new Pennywise Bloodbath edition, the Blood edition from Welcome to Derry. I found that last Saturday or Sunday night at my local Walmart, which is really weird. Check out the review on the channel. But we did see this week announced NECA Terrifier 2 Art the Clown Bloody Edition. So very similar to that first one, but different. New faces, new accessories, less blood, I think it looks like here. But you know they're going to milk that Terrifier license just like McFarlane milked Batman for so long. Makes sense, though. You got to strike while the iron's hot. We got another Terrifier movie this year, so you got to keep turning and burning while the iron is hot. Make that money. Follow the money, Ventura style. We know how that goes. We saw the Stan Sakai Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 4 Turtles. Looks like those are going to be part of Haulathon, so it'll be interesting to see how well those sell. We got a lot of different versions of the Turtles. These look really good, but they're in that Stan style if you're after that one. So probably a must-have for some, a pass for others. Not a lot of people in the middle on those ones, I would have to imagine. We also saw from NECA Phantom of the Opera Mask of the Red Death Black and White Edition. A little bit of a head scratcher. Obviously, it's getting the most out of your molds. This is going to be part of Haulathon as well. But this scene from Phantom of the Opera was never in black and white. It was like Technicolor or something back then. So I see what they're doing. They're trying to do the yin and yangs. And really, at the end of the day, it's a cash grab. But let's be honest. Everything we talk about here is a cash grab. It's not nonprofit stuff. It's for making money and paying bills and all that fun stuff. Unless you're Powertown. I don't know what their business model. I haven't figured out their business model quite yet. But we did see that one, Phantom of the Opera, black and white. is what it is what it is. We also turn our attention over to our friends at Mondo. Beastman, we talked about it last week. Man, I want this one so bad, but with the shipping, the tariff charge, which are those going away now? I'm not totally up on my news. I've been busy moving snow, Todd McFarlane, but it looks like that one is up. It is up for sale right now. I'm waiting for the regular edition, not the timed edition, I think, and I might not even do that. I want to be out of the X-Men Mondo, but I love a hairy bipedal creature. Still on the fence, but it does look really, really good. That is my beast. When I think of beast, that's what it looks like for me. So very cool to see that. And we also saw Mondo Ghostbusters. We saw Janine this week. Now, we saw that a while back, maybe San Diego Comic-Con, but it is officially going up for order. That's going to be next in line. I've been collecting just the 4 Ghostbusters, the plain Jane editions, and I think that's where I'm going to stop. As much as I want Janine, I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger on that one, but you never know. Jay's over there might get some. They might convince me. They might pull my arm a little bit, and all right, I'll do it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then we close it off with our good friend from the couch, Todd McFarlane. Todd, I hope you stick around after the end of this year because a lot of property changes, a lot of pickups for Todd, but nothing that's really lighting my fire, unfortunately. So I know next year I'm not really giving you as much money as I did in previous years, and I hate it. Maybe I'll just take you out to dinner every night. I don't know. I got to figure something out. But Todd this week did come with a little bit. We're towards the end of the DC line. Not a lot of announcements out of Toy Fair from the DC multiverse. Not sure what else we'll get for the rest of the year. We'll see what happens, but few and far between. We talked about this one before, Joker Theatrical Edition. I'm not exactly sure what's different. The packaging looks a little different, maybe a little color variations, maybe more weapons with this one, but if you miss this version of the Joker with Heath Ledger version, you get another shot at it, I guess is what you get. And we also get another shot at Superman Christopher Reeves. New face on this one. Is this supposed to be Superman 2, I guess? So we got some options there as well. So if you need some Superman in your collection, you got the option with this one here. But that's it for Todd from the couch. Nothing else to talk about. We talked about some stuff earlier in the Toy Fair episodes, but nothing else this week. Getting pretty light in the McFarlane stuff. And you've always been a little light in the loafers, but not in the toy news. But here we are, Todd. Here we are as we move on into the future. But that's it. That's the toy news. 4 videos in the span of a week. So a lot of toy news this week. You would think next week would be pretty soft, but we'll see. We'll follow it, and we'll be back next Saturday with another edition of the Toy News. Be interested to hear what you're excited for, what you liked out of this toy news this week. Anything you want to talk about, put it in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Your best way to support the channel. Sir Paul 64 on the X is where you're going to find me. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, which is also the name of my podcast, Kyle Peterson Show. Each and every Tuesday where our podcasts are found, video cast on YouTube. An all-timer of an episode this week. I get pretty hot about a meet and greet experience, and maybe you can relate, maybe you can't, but you can laugh along the way, no doubt about it. So for another toy news, you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another snowy weekend. Hey, little girl, what's your favorite kind of bread?
Surly butter bread.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?